Akav ben Alel Omer. Akav ben Alel says, "Istakel b'shoshat dvarim v'yata ba l'idei avera." Look at three things, you won't come to do a grech. You won't come to do a sin. Da ma'in bata. Know where you came from. Where'd you come from? From a putrid drop, right? They're all the same. We're all the same. Everybody came from the same place. You know?
We're all winners.
Yeah. So why we think we're better than the other? We all came from the same place, right? Where are you going? You're going to a place of dirt, maggots, and worms. We're all going to the grave. You're going to take all your money with you. You're going to take your house with you. You're going to take your car with you. You're going to take your business with you. You're going to take all your kavod with you. No, all these things, people are going to, what are they going to say in your Yeshua? You always wear Gucci, Burberry, Ferragamo. That's what they're going to say in your Yeshua. You always drove a nice car. What are they going to say in your Yeshua? That you did mitzvot, that you raised your children properly, that you were influenced in the community for spirituality, that you always help people, the mitzvot you did. That's what they're going to remember you for. So therefore, what? You have to remember where you're going. And then the third thing you have to remember is, you should know before you're going to give judgment and accounting. Who is that? You have to answer. We have to answer every single thing we do in this life. We have to be able to answer after 120 why we did what we did. If it was right, they will give us a good reward. If it did it wrong, they'll ask us, why did you do this? And you don't have a proper answer, you have to pay for that. The person has to know this is not a free hotel. At the end, the bill comes. So therefore, a person has to be able to answer and to pay. Now, the interesting Vadia over here, Alav Shalom, he said, why does it say din v'cheshbon? Din means judgment. Cheshbon means calculation. You go to a restaurant, you get a bill. How does it say? First you do the calculation, then it says the judgment, how much you'll pay in the end. Over here, why does it say the opposite? First it says judgment, then it says the bill. And then it says, the calculation. So he says in Shamayim, we all know that we're going to watch with all our family members and our friends on the movie of our lives, right? We're going to review in front of everybody all of our life, everything we did. And therefore, what happens? The question is, how can you ever judge somebody else? What's the best way to judge somebody else? Rebuke somebody. We know that from Gidol and Rav, that what happened, that there was a land that the Rav Gidol was trying to buy, and the other rabbi bought it. He said, Shotakoy, he went to his rabbi went to him, and he says, if you would see a poor person walking the street trying to pick up your pyoshka, and a rich guy came stole the pyoshka from him, what would you say he is? He's a Rasha. So the rabbi said, you're the same thing. Why did you do that to Rav Gidol? Rav Gidol was trying to buy this land. He was trying to make a parnasa, and you have a lot of land, and you took it from him. Why? You should let him have it. So you see, the best way to rebuke somebody is what? Is to go and ask him himself what he thinks about XYZ, and show him how he's really the same thing. So therefore, what does HaKadosh Baruch Hu do to us when we go to Shamayim? They show us a blurred image of a guy doing a grech, doing a sin. The guy stealing. He said, what would you say the punishment to this guy? He should be judged. He's a ganav. He gets punished. And then they unblur the face and they show it to you. So first they ask you, what's the judgment? And then they show you what's the cheshbon, what's the calculation. You get the same thing. Why? Because you judge yourself. In Shamayim, we all are judge ourselves. That's why it's very important. Chazal tell us, say Kriyat Shema Lamitah, say vidui before you go to sleep. That way you judge yourself here, that way you don't have to judge yourself there. So you judge yourself here, Hashem says, I don't need to judge you, you already judged yourself. So therefore, a person has to make sure that we have the ready to answer after 120. Rabbi Hanina Sgan Kohanim Omer. Rabbi Hanina the Sgan Kohanim, he used to say, he was the vice Kohen Gadol. He was the one lower than Kohen Gadol. Having mitpalish shel shashem melchut, you have to pray for the well-being of the government, whether Jewish or not Jewish, because of them, we are able to have everything we have in the country we live in. Because if there's no government, what happens? One man swallows the other alive. You can see protests and anarchy and destruction, and therefore it wasn't the police and the red lights and all the stop signs and all the roads that we have, it will be big balagan. Whoever two people sit and there's no words of Torah be spoken between them, it's a sitting of mockers. It's considered people who do not value Torah. They should go and sit together. They should share Torah at least. Why? Because we know that Chazal tell us whenever two friends they depart from each other, what's the proper way they should remember each other? They should end off with a Dvar Halacha. They should say Halacha, and B'zchut Dvar Torah, and they will remember each other. Just saying bye without saying Dvar Torah is not appropriate, especially if they're what? If you're sitting at a meal, that a person has to know that you should sit in a meal, always say Divrei Torah.